I never liked the granary. It wasn't just a place I feared, it was the place. The one that haunts you in dreams, makes your skin prickle on muggy days when there's no breeze, and pulls your gaze even when you're trying not to look. It stood like a rotting tooth at the edge of my grandfather's farm, a squat, broad-shouldered building of weather-worn stone and dry, rotted wood, leaning just slightly as if trying to listen. Unlike the cheerful red barn or the sleepy farmhouse wrapped in ivy, the granary had no charm. Its boarded windows were black eyes, and the double doors always looked half open even when latched shut. When I was 6, I wandered close to it. My parents had brought me along for a weekend visit to the old farm. My mom's family had owned it for generations. Back then, I was a curious little thing, into every crevice and crawl space, but I wouldn't go near that granary. Not until that day. I don't remember what pulled me toward it. Maybe it was the humming, low and rhythmic, like a song hummed under breath but with no tune, no melody. Just presence. I remember reaching the threshold, fingers touching the rough edge of the split wood, when my grandfather came tearing out of the barn like the devil had lit a fire in him. He didn't shout, didn't yank me back. He just stood a few feet away, panting, staring. Not at me, but at the doors behind me. He whispered, "Don't go near it again, ever." I cried, not from fear yet, but from the look on his face. I never saw him scared again, not when his dog was bitten by a copperhead, not when the tornado sirens went off in the middle of the night, but in that moment something had scared him, deep down scared. I asked my mom later. She just sighed. Old granaries falling apart. It's dangerous, that's all. But I knew that was a lie. They never tore it down. They could have, easily, but they left it there, sagging and empty, like a warning nailed to the land. When I turned 12, I decided I was done being afraid of it. I was a big kid. No more monsters under the bed, no more jumping at shadows. I told myself if I could just get into the granary, step inside just once, I could banish the fear for good. So I did. I snuck out that summer evening while everyone was drinking beer and playing cards inside the house. The grass was tall and damp with dew, the bugs loud. I remember the stars. I remember that the wind had stopped. I brought a flashlight and a camera. I told myself I'd prove it. There was nothing in there. Just moldy grain and maybe a raccoon or two. The latch was rusted but moved with a little elbow grease. The doors gave way slowly, groaning like a voice trying to wake from a deep sleep. The inside was wrong. Not scary, not yet, but wrong. Too dark, too quiet. The dust hung heavy in the air but didn't move when I stepped in. My flashlight flickered. The floor groaned beneath me even though it looked solid. The first thing I noticed was the pit. Where there should have been flat ground, there was a sunken hollow in the middle of the granary, about 6 feet wide, maybe 4 feet deep, ringed with stones. No grain, no tools, just the pit, and the carvings along its rim. I didn't understand them then, and I'm not sure I do now. Just harsh lines gouged into the stone, symbols that hurt to look at too long. The kind of marks you know weren't made for human eyes. And something inside me knew. This pit wasn't for storage. I crouched at the edge, shining my light down. Nothing but dirt and movement. No, not movement. Shifting, like the earth itself was breathing. Then the whispering started. It wasn't from inside the pit. It was behind me. Software gentle. "Come back." I spun, but no one was there. Just the open doors. Just the night. And when I turned back, the pit was gone. The floor was flat. Just smooth, dusty stone. I bolted. I don't even remember getting back to the house. One moment I was in the granary. The next I was curled on the porch, sobbing into my knees. My flashlight was gone. So was the camera. My family brushed it off. Sleepwalking, they said. Overactive imagination. I wanted to believe that too. But every night after that, I dreamed of the pit and the thing that watched me from the bottom of it. Years passed. I learned to push it down. I left the farm behind, moved to the city, took a job at a call center, drank too much, slept too little, but the dreams never stopped, even with pills, especially with pills. And it wasn't just dreams. At night, the lights would flicker. I'd wake up with dirt under my nails. Once I found stones under my bed, flat, carved with those same impossible marks. Then came the nosebleeds. Every time I passed a building with a basement or saw a dark stairwell or even looked at an old stone foundation, I'd start to bleed. And the whispering came back. Only now it followed me even during the day. Come back. Always in the same voice, familiar, gentle, almost loving. Last month I got the call. My grandfather had died. Heart failure, alone in the barn. They asked if I could help settle the property. My mother didn't want to go. No one did, so I went. The granary was still there, older now, collapsing, but still standing, and the doors were open, wide open, like it had been waiting. That night I tried to sleep in the house, but the dreams were worse than ever. I saw the pit again, deeper than before. At the bottom, something moved, something huge and slick, and not quite in the right shape. It had too many arms, or not enough. It had a face, but it wasn't looking at me. It was looking through me, into me. I heard it speak, not in words, in need. And then I felt something crack behind my eyes. I woke up screaming. There was blood in my ears. I stumbled outside, barefoot, drawn like a puppet to that sagging old building. The doors were still open. The pit was back. I walked inside, and it knew me. It remembered. It whispered my name. I got to the edge, looked down, and saw myself. Another me, grinning up, pale and wide-eyed, mouthing words I couldn't hear. I dropped the flashlight again, but this time I didn't run. This time I understood. It never wanted to hurt me. Not really, it just wanted a door, a vessel, a voice, something old and hungry and patient. And now that I had seen it, really seen it, I couldn't forget, couldn't unknow. I left the granary that morning with dirt on my knees and blood in my mouth. I laughed for hours and couldn't remember why. But I was awake now. It comes with me wherever I go. Sometimes I see it in puddles, sometimes in mirrors. And sometimes, when I'm very tired, I feel the pit beneath me again, even on the second floor of my apartment, even at work, even when I'm driving. The ground is never far, not anymore. I don't know how long I can hold it in. The whispering's getting louder. It doesn't just say my name now. It says yours. It says everyone's. It wants to be known. Please, if something happens to me, if I vanish or snap, or you hear about me on the news, don't look for me. Don't go back to the granary. Don't dig. Don't open the doors. Just burn it all. Salt the ground. Forget I ever existed. Because I wasn't meant to escape it. I was supposed to stay. And it's angry that I didn't.